welcome to another episode of the Reinvent Your Reality Podcast. My name is Jen Palco, so happy you could join me here today, where today I'm going to talk about why I am anti-spiritual. And you might be, well, if you know anything about me, you might, or have watched my YouTube videos and stuff like that, you might be saying, well, Jen, a lot of your videos are kind of on the spiritual side. So how are you anti? So, all right. I do not like the word spiritual. I never have. It's, I don't know. It gives me the creeps a little bit. So, and that's mainly because I went to Catholic school for so long. I went for 12 years plus preschool. So the meaning of spiritual for me, I associate it right away with organized religion. So, I'm going to give you 4 main reasons why people back away from the word spiritual. Okay, number 1, religion. Yuck. Get me out of here as quick as possible, right? Number 2, New Age conspiracies. Again, yuck. Get me out of here as quickly as possible, especially now. Number 3, pseudoscientific theories. I associate spirituality with pseudoscientific theories that just don't work. And number 4, you can't be spiritual and listen to death metal. I mean, come on, right? So I'm sure there's many more reasons why, but it basically has to do with our past mixed with society, what we've grown up, and the meaning that we give the word spiritual. And it's why I'm anti-spiritual. I do not like the word, okay? I'm anti-spiritual, but not anti-spiritual. But I went to Catholic school, and while I had a good education, decent education, I had crazy nuns, and I was force-fed, going to church, or made to feel like I was a sinner for not going to church every Sunday and stuff like that. For a while there, I said it was agnostic because it didn't seem as extreme as being full-on atheist, and it got me out of the idea that I was any part of being religious. So, okay, agnostic. It's like saying you're bisexual when you know that you're gay, okay? It's a little safer side, okay? So, so this podcast isn't about me being brainwashed, but it's about, the meaning we give to this word and how a lot of people associate spirituality with organized religion, for one, and other things. So a whole conglomeration of things that fall into this category. And a lot of that is that we have come to a point where, we obviously label everything in society, but we've come to a point where it's like these certain people or groups have become the identity of this particular whole genre, which gives it maybe a bad name and things like that. So I'm going to talk about spirituality from the aspect of my own take on it, my own perspective on it, what it is not versus what it is, and why a lot of people who are very anti-spiritual are actually very spiritual. Okay, so that's what I'm going to talk about today. So before you turn this off because you have any ties to, organized religion, or you've had bad experiences where being force-fed or being in a cult or whatever, or you've had bad experience with, conspiracy theorists or people who have, pushed their woo-woo medicine on you, that type of stuff. Okay, it's all about you. And if you're very anti anything, it's a reflection of something that has been emotional for you, or something that hits a nerve with you in some aspect. Okay, so that is what we are going to talk about. So number 1, spirituality is not about organized religion, it's not about necessarily worshiping something better than you. Okay, in my opinion. That's not what it is, and that's why I don't love the word. I like to use the word self-cultivation, because to me, what spirituality is, it's getting to the core of your being, your true, authentic self. Number 2, it's about no longer relying on superficial means to get you there. All right. Number 3, it could take many forms, but the most important is getting to a place of self-acceptance in your life, realizing your wholeness as a human being. Now, for some people, that's going to sound corny, but I want to ask the question, why does it sound corny to you? Getting to the whole of who you are. Because a lot of times we're always seeking things to make ourselves whole, and we're seeking things on the external to fill ourselves up, right? But, spirituality is about getting to a place where you already know that you have all those things. You don't have to go out searching. You don't have to, find the right person necessarily to make you feel content and peaceful in your life. Number 4, it's realizing that you are that higher power. You're already got that little lantern inside of you that's waiting to get brighter. You already have that little seed inside of you that's waiting to sprout out. Number 5, spirituality is not about conspiracies, protests, or crazy ass nuns. It's not about anti this, anti that, anti-vaccine, anti-drug, anti-alcohol. It's about receptivity. We have a movement going on right now, and I'll call it the anti-everything movement. And it's people who really, they're just anti-everything. You could say, I don't know, anything out of the blue, and they're going to be against it just because they're against it. Okay. Right now, we're seeing a lot of protesting. We're seeing a lot of anger. We're seeing a lot of rise in these fumes of energy right now. And what this is, it's a lot of people right now are sitting in the emotion of anger, this very young, aggressive energy. But do you think that spirituality is about aggression? No, it's about receptivity. So what happens? People take advantage of labels and they form an entire entity around this word or this thing. Okay? So it's about trust in yourself and your own truth, making your own decisions, but not from a place of desperation or anxiety, but from a place of wisdom. Okay? Think of the sage. Think of the sage. Whenever you're reacting to something in the news, or you're reacting to something in society, or when somebody criticizes you, instead of asking yourself, what would Jesus do? Because just the name or the word Jesus is going to cause you to run away. It would make me run away. Ask yourself, what would the old wise sage do? How would the old wise sage react in this instance? I'm sure they're not going to go out with a knife and a gun, and they're going to go out and, balls ahead and go out and punch people in the face. No. They're probably going to act from a place of wisdom, whatever that means for you. So, number 6, self-cultivation leads to more peace in your life. And whether you like it or not, you may be spiritual without liking the word spiritual. Okay? All it means is more peace in your life. It's essentially connecting to yourself, not praying, wishing, or hoping all the time. These people that put all of their trust in a higher power, they lose themselves in the process. This is why organized religion, while I was a big part of it for 13 years of my life, when I got older, I realized, what am I doing? You go through the motions sometimes, and that's how religions work. You go through the motions without realizing what you're doing. Who are you actually worshiping or praying to? Okay? It's one thing if you feel connected to yourself in the process and to a higher self and a higher whatever. But if you're doing it from a place of desperation, anxiety, and you're looking to be rescued all the time, without looking inside yourself, only looking on the external, to me, it's the same as reaching for that piece of chocolate cake or that cigarette or that whiskey glass, okay? You're trying to fill a void of something without having to deal with what's going on inside. Okay, so once you get rid of the labels and the definition, you will understand that what you're seeking right now is more peace, more happiness, more purpose. Seeking more purpose is your spirituality, so don't be embarrassed over it. Let's see here. Number 7. You can be spiritual and still smoke cigarettes, drink alcohol, eat fast food, and listen to death metal. Okay? These things are just on the superficial, on the body level. Sure, it makes things a little more difficult if you're always listening to, say, music that's lower vibration or watching movies that are lower vibration. But it's not what you listen to or what you watch. It's how you respond to it, why you do it. So get this. And people may disagree with me because I'm not claiming to be a know-it-all at all. Know-it-all at all. Absolutely not. If you use substances or you're listening to music you're doing it from a place of lower vibration, like anger and filling a void, desperation, or again, this goes back to seeking stuff on the outside. Okay, that is much different than if you're doing it because you love it and it lights you up. So you could eat a cookie and you're doing it from a place of emotional eating because you feel terrible about yourself and it's filling that void and it's just kind of easing things for you. But if you eat a cookie because it's the most satisfying experience that you're having in this 2 minutes, and it lights your body up, that's actually giving your body energy. It's actually giving your body chi. There is a huge, huge difference between those two things. So, I enjoy death metal from time to time, the occasional horror movie. Does it make me less of a spiritual person? You tell me, okay? Again, people may disagree on this. Yes, nutrition and all that stuff plays a part on your body and blah, 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 blah. But what I'm saying is if it lights you up, if you are connected in a certain kind of way, it doesn't matter. It does not matter, okay, what you do. So these are just some things, I saw a post on Facebook yesterday about American Gladiators. That was a show in, was it the 90s, early 2000s? American Gladiators. So it was like the competition between these regular average Joes. I mean, they were athletes, but they were going against these kind of humans on steroids, these gladiators, and they had to go through these obstacles and do certain athletic feats or whatever to win a prize at the end. And, this is what I see right now. We have regular humans, and then we have people who are trying to be superhuman spiritual masters, stuck in states of higher consciousness, but doing it for power and not for themselves. Okay? So this is what I see a lot right now. There's false gurus out there who are trying to use the word spiritual or use this whole genre of self-cultivation, self-evolution, self-growth, and turn it into something that's part of either the anti-everything movement, that is part of preying on people's vulnerabilities to make money, and all sorts of stuff. Feed their own ego, okay? The real gurus are not boasting or not narcissists. They're the wise old sages who are helping your mother cross the street. I'm just saying. Again, true spirituality is about receptivity, not aggression. Not people stuck in the emotion of anger, which is wood over action from a 5-element perspective. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about it a little bit today. Why I'm anti-spiritual. I don't like the word. Gives me the creeps. Gives me the image of like crazy nuns and force-fed religion and, claiming you're a sinner if you don't do this or you don't do that, in life. Not about self-cultivation, not about self-empowerment. Self-empowerment. It's such a strong word to me. That's what it is. That's what it is. And that's why I do videos, and I'm kind of careful about using the word spirit. Right now, I kind of use it more in the perspective of like a Chinese medicine perspective. So it doesn't seem so out there to people, because I want to get a message across about this self-cultivation that has been convoluted over the years into something that it's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be about power-hungry gurus, humans, know-it-alls. It's not supposed to be about anti this and that and judgment. It's not supposed to be about judgment. It's supposed to be about you and getting to your true, authentic self. And how do you get to your true, authentic self? By disregarding all the noise, all these labels out in society right now, and saying, screw it. This word, I'm not going to, I'm no longer going to associate it with this, and that. I'm going to give my own meaning to it. Because words are just words at the end of the day. But when we see a word, and we are therefore anti everything associated with that word, without really understanding that our whole goal in life is based around spirituality and getting to our true authentic self and what makes us happy in life, we're going to be in a better place, okay? What would the wise old sage man do? Helping your mother cross the street, not going out there and hitting people over the head with a hammer saying, you need to do this. You're a bad human being. You listen to heavy metal. Blah, 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 blah. You know what doesn't work? Trying to dye your blonde hair black and having blonde roots coming out from dyed black hair. I know that because I've tried it. You know what also doesn't work? Putting a label on spirituality. Putting a label on self-growth and cultivation, because everybody's going to experience it differently. That's why I hate the word. That's why I'm not part of the anti-movement, but I'm anti-spirituality. The word gives me the creeps. So, thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. Thanks for hanging on till the end. Hanging on till the end, my friend. But I do appreciate it. Like I said, I'm trying to get my stuff out there as much as possible to whoever needs to hear it. Because again, we usually will see something, a title of something, or it has a word that's associated with new age hippies or woo-woo and energy. And right away, some people's brains go to, they throw it in the garbage can, they throw it in the trash. But really the message that I want to convey is that you should take out that crumpled ball out of the trash, unravel it, and maybe see what you can find in there. Because this is not about what you may think it's about. It's about you getting to a place of inner peace. It's about you untangling all those layers of yourself, all the past programming, all the stuff that's been holding you back in life, all your limiting beliefs, and getting to what lights you up. Getting to you being in life, you watering that seed so that you can then sprout out in your life and be completely aligned in your life and do things that are in alignment to you, not to other people, but to you, not to Joe Schmo, not to your neighbor, not to your boss, but to you. And it's a process, progression. But that essentially to me is what spirituality means. Okay. Looking into yourself, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and getting to a place of complete alignment and doing more of what lights you up. Okay. Thank you so much. If you want to check out more of my stuff, you can go to my website, jenpalco.com. I have a new book out, 12-Step Guide for the Self-Help Book Addict. You can find that on barnesandnoble.com, Amazon, also on my website, jenpalco.com. I have a YouTube channel out, so it's youtube.com/jenpalco. You can get there from my Instagram accounts, Twitter. I'm on pretty much everything, and all that good stuff. So hope you enjoyed this, and I will talk to you on the next podcast. Until next time, peace out.